you predict how a relationship will turn out? How to determine what kind of relationship you will have. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne. Well, I got to thinking, can we determine with another person the potential of that relationship? What kind of relationship are we going to have with this new person that we met? Well, I think sometimes we can read accurately into the future of how that relationship is going to turn out. Now, there's a lot of variables in relationships. And so just because we think a relationship may or may not turn out the way we think it will, doesn't mean that it will necessarily. But often we can have a good idea. How I do it is, I believe that people often go from one relationship to another, and they carry with them a certain behavior pattern in their relationships from one relationship to another. Like, if you get to know me, I'm a really nice person. And so I look for the good in people, I look for their potential, and I work with my relationships, and I want my relationships to be the very best and to be all that they can be. I take that from one relationship to another to another. All of my relationships are built around that philosophy. And yet, I've met other people that they're kind of disgruntled. They're disgruntled with not just one relationship, but pretty much every relationship that they enter into. I know one person, they're always complaining, they're always finding fault in the people that they're around. Whenever I talk to them, they tell me, oh, this person does this person does that. And then when they go on to the next relationship or the next situation, it's not just a one-on-one relationship. Sometimes it can be in a group setting. They're always dissatisfied, always find fault, always looking for the negative. And long ago, I determined that how they treat those other relationships and those other situations is how they will treat me, and how they will look at me when they're talking to someone else. Because it's a behavior pattern within who they are. That's how they interact with their relationships. They're looking for the worst in their relationships. And so I can kind of determine how that relationship will be in my future. If I continue to stay in that kind of relationship, that person will ultimately find fault with me, because that's what they're looking for. That's their pattern in relationships. I believe that we can often determine how a relationship is going to go by the pattern people have set in their other relationships. Not just one isolated relationship, but their relationships as a whole. What kind of relationships as a whole does that person have? And likely that's how they will treat us. I had this one friend many years ago. I was in my early 20s. And she always ended up rejecting the people that she would friend, whether it was a guy, whether it was a relative, whether it was a new friendship. She'd be really tight with that person for a while, and then she would break it up and dump that person. That was her pattern. And I always said, one day she'll do it to me. And lo and behold, she did it to me as well. That was her pattern. And I think she continued on that pattern for years and years and years later. Some people have patterns in relationships. So I look for people that have great relationships. I ask them about their other relationships. How's your relationship with so-and-so? How are you interacting? And I don't base it upon one particular instance that they're telling me. I base it upon a lot of their instances, several relationships that they had from the past, present, how they see their future. Because their attitude is going to affect our relationship. and how they see other people will often be how they see me. From my house to yours, may God bless you, and I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye.